Hey folks, Ken McArthur here, best-selling author of Impact, How to Get Noticed, Motivate Millions, and Make a Difference in a Noisy World, and also The Impact Factor, How Small Actions Change the World. You can get both of those on Amazon. If you just do a search on Ken McArthur, that's KenMcArthur, or you can find lots and lots of information about me by doing a search for Ken McArthur on Google or going to kenmacarthur.com. So great to have everybody on the call. This is our open webcast from the Impact Action Team. We've got a member of our Impact Action Team faculty on the line ready to talk about social media for business. And it's a topic that she certainly knows. It's Martha Giffen, and I'm going to introduce her to you in just a minute and let her tell you a little bit about herself and how she got into social media marketing. But first, I wanted to say a couple things about what we've got coming up. Lots of excitement coming up in the future and happening right now. So we just wrapped up an exciting event at JV Alert Live in Arlington, Virginia. A great group of people there. Part of what we did was the last session was a kind of a debrief and a brainstorming session to all of the things that we can do to work together for the future. And because, as you probably know, JV Alert Live is expanding out along with the impact events to over 30 events this year alone, which is pretty amazing. We've got to start building local teams and involving lots and lots of people in that. So it means lots more speakers. It means lots more people on the ground doing amazing things. It means lots more opportunities for you to have JV Alert Live in your neck of the woods. And so we've got some exciting events coming up. The first event that we have coming up on the schedule is JV Alert Live in San Diego, and San Diego is actually the first day is the one-day intensive. One-day intensive you can find information on at at onedayintensive.com/San Diego, and that's our small group mastermind and brainstorming session, mentoring, small group mentoring. It's no more than 10 people in a room working on you and focused on you and all of your projects. We're doing that on June the 20th. Then on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we have the amazing JV Alert Live San Diego. And San Diego is one of our biggest and best events. Always exciting to be taking part in those. One thing is I do want to warn you is that 5 days from today, on Tuesday, May the 28th, the price of the early bird special for JV Alert Live will go up. And I want you to get it at the bargain rate price. Expanding out. We've got more overhead coming up, and we just unfortunately have to raise the price. But if you get a ticket in the next 5 days, you can get a ticket at $127, and you get to bring 2 gifts. So that means you get to split that cost between 3 different people. It's obviously worth much, much, much more, and you definitely do, though, want to take advantage of this opportunity because it will never be lower price than it is right this second. You can purchase these tickets now and get them for any future JV Alert Live event. So if you're thinking about coming in the future, then definitely grab the ticket now in the next 5 days. So after JV Alert Live San Diego, we have JV Alert Live Denver. It's coming up on the 26th through the 28th, and we will be doing a one-day intensive on the 25th, that Thursday before that, in Denver, Colorado. Great people are going to be at both events. In San Diego, we're looking at having Mike Koenigs of Traffic Geyser and Main Street Marketing fame, Deborah Cole, Coach Deb as she's known, Debbie Bermont's going to be there. Davin Michael's going to be there. The amazing Mitch Axelrod is going to be there. Nan Akasha, John Chow, top-level blogger, a video expert. Kellen Flukinger is going to be there, and that's just some of the amazing people that are going to be at JV Alert Live San Diego. And then in Denver in July, we've got Joel Comm, we've got Rick Raditz, we've got Jeff Mills, we've got Davin Michaels, Robert Plank, Blaine Parker and Honey Parker, Dave Van Hoos, and David Hancock, who was I just spent some amazing time with in Arlington, the publisher of Morgan James. But that's not all of the speakers that are going to be there, because we're doing a special series with 10 people who are giving a 10-minute presentation, pure content, their best resources and ideas. Think, TED Talks and presentations. It's going to be amazing. We've been doing that for the last 2 events, and if you want one of those slots, you need to basically send me your idea for what you would present at one of those opening slots. I'll pick the top 10 speakers to be in that, give those quick presentations, and that will be really, really exciting. So I'm looking forward to that big time. So let's get on to the topic of today's webcast. And Martha Giffen, she kind of came to the online marketing table after being a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, and she's got her share of college degrees. She sold real estate for a while, but she really likes staying at home, and what she's doing right now enables her to do that. She had helped her husband start and build a business that was going strong 25 years later, but she really wanted to have a business of her own. So she started reading success stories of people who are making money online, selling digital products, and thought if they can do it, she could do it too. So she jumped right in and never looked back. She had some success fairly quickly after attending an online marketing seminar. She's the contributing author of a best-selling Amazon book entitled Money from Anywhere. And she had her picture in a centerfold spread for Fast Company. She's been listed in We Online magazine for women as one of the 100 women bloggers to watch in 2010. And she's been a guest on numerous blog talk radio shows. She's spoken at workshops, operates several sites in different niches, and has been a somewhat regular guest on Women Are Not Funny Radio, among other things. And I'll ask her about that. We'll see why women aren't funny. But welcome, Martha Giffen, to the broadcast today. How are you doing, Martha?
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. When I hear that long list of things that I've accomplished, it even surprises me. But you know, that is the wonderful thing about having an online business, is that things move quickly, and that really includes even success. You know it?
Yeah, isn't that something? And I should have mentioned you do this all with a nice Southern style, don't you?
Oh, I guess we should have said, yes, I do. The Southern accent is free, folks.
Well, my father's family's all from Mississippi, so I think I've lost most of the accent being raised in Colorado, but we share the roots anyway. So, so it's great to have you here and great to spend some time with you. And I'm going to let us have you walk through some of the basics of what you can do as a business owner on the internet with social media. But first, I wanted to kind of get a flair from you. What did I leave out in your story that you know, of how you got started and how social media has really impacted your life?
Well, the way I got started was I actually started on Twitter as far as social media sites. I found that I'm a conversationalist at heart. So the the Twitter really did suit me, and I started following people and getting very interested in what they were doing online. At that time, that was 2008, it was much easier and not as crowded, not as noisy, and I just decided to go see what it was all about. I went to a seminar, and I was a little bit naive. I thought I could actually come home with a business. So that part was not exactly smart on my part. But anyway, what started happening was that my social media presence started growing, and my blogging presence, and people started asking me, what are you doing to connect with people? How are you connecting people? What are you doing? And from there, my business grew because I started teaching people what exactly I do to find clients and find people to go into my sales funnel, because to have a business you've got to make money. So that is really what I'm all about, is using social media to find your clients quickly, and so you'll make more profits.
That sounds fantastic. I bet there's not anybody on this webcast today that doesn't want to make more money. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to make you the presenter, and maybe you can show us a few of the things that you do with social media, and we can kind of go from there. Does that work for you?
That's great. Will you still be able to hear me? Because I just want to be sure that everyone can see my screen,
Yeah.
just in case, because I did get kind of disconnected some kind of way from the actual webinar. I can hear you, but I can't see go to webinar.
All right, we'll see how this works. I'm going to see if I can switch you over. Hang on just one second. So, can you
Okay, I'm now seeing the webinar, and that's good, and it says when ready, show my screen, so I'm ready to show the screen, and let's see
if it actually works?
What I do. Can you all see my screen, everybody?
You know what? I don't
Yeah,
see your screen. Oh, yes, I do. There it goes. It just popped on, and you're ready to go. I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay, good deal. Now here's where I like to start. Even though we're talking about social media, I like to start with our site and our blog. And the reason is because here are the 5 parts, if you will, to social media for business. It's visibility, connect, conversation, conversion, and then profits. So in other words, you've all seen it in social media. You've all seen the faux pas, really, of people saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And, back in the early days, I think that actually worked somewhat for people, but it does not work anymore. So we have to be, the consumer online is a lot more savvy, so we have to be also. But I would like to start talking about social media in the blogging, and here's why. Because as soon as you get your blog up and going and you're really building, it's the first place that you build an audience. And for the purposes of social media, it is usually the place, am I right, where you're going to put people in your funnel. Like on mine, I've got, a freebie on here, of course, which I'm sure most of you do too. If you don't, be thinking about it, because this is where they're going to enter your sales funnel. And my freebie, of course, also is on another link, which is Profitable Blogger Now, and that leads people into my sales funnel. I can use that link on Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn, wherever, but I also have it on my blog. So, the name of the game is making money in business. So a lot of people talk about engagement on social media, and you've got to do this, relationship marketing. And I am definitely a proponent of relationship marketing. But I'm also not online to just chit-chat with people all day long. So what I want to say on the front end is that when you're doing social media marketing, be focused about it. Have a reason that you're doing it. Now, I'm starting at the blog, and here's why. Because the first place that people will start being social with you is right here in the comment section. Now, that is a great place for you to pick up clients. And I know a lot of you on this call probably are coaches, and you have maybe high-end coaching programs, or you have group coaching programs, or you work one-on-one with people, your consultants. And that's really how my business has evolved. I'm really a consultant, and I work a lot with one-on-one clients. So I'm very interested in what people say when they leave a comment. Now look, I teach social media. So one of the very first comments on this particular post says, look, I pretty much suck at Twitter. Well, hello. Do you think I'm going to try to contact her? I am. I don't know at this point whether she's gone into the sales funnel, and quite frankly, I don't care, because she's telling me on the front end that she needs to learn Twitter. So I'm going to contact her, and I'm going to try to start the conversation by saying, you came to my blog. I notice you don't understand Twitter. How can I help you? And I'm taking that extra step that a lot of people will not take. I can leave her a comment in my blog, but you know what? She might not come back. So it's so easy to find people online, and I will go and leave her a message. Now, a lot of people think maybe that is a little bit aggressive. But let me tell you this, it's just like if you have a brick and mortar business and maybe you come home from work. My husband used to do this, and he would say, oh my gosh, my phone rang all day long. And I'm like, well, what's the alternative? Do you not want your clients to be calling you? So just think about the people in your comment section as being your prospects. And if they tell you that they need help, in scrolling down, I also noticed that this lady right here is telling me the topic here was hashtags, was what I was trying to teach. So she's telling me that she's not spending time on Twitter for her client. I'm sure I'm not giving him my best work. Well, there again, I'm going to click on, see where she, hangs out, and see if I can help her. Now, that is probably an approach that you may not have heard of yet, because I think so many people are preaching, content marketing, engagement through social media, that kind of thing. But the thing is that you've got to go after your prospects just like you do in any kind of business. And the phone is still your friend. I do a lot of things online, and obviously when people enter my sales funnel, they are going to be in an email marketing campaign from me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer them products, give them great content, help them with what they're doing. And that is just one aspect of how what I do with my prospects, and eventually turn them into customers. So I did want to start with the blog. Ken, do you have any questions about that, or are you in agreement with that, or are you hearing something that you haven't heard before?
I think a lot of people don't realize, how much customer service really is an opportunity to connect with your potential customers. So, whenever somebody
Absolutely.
comments on your blog, or one of the magic bullets to reaching your customer base is your support desk. If you have a product or service online and you want to get new customers, one of the best ways you can do it is to really man that support desk, give really excellent product support. When people have questions, get right on it, and those are the people that are engaged in your message. Those are the people that care about what you're saying about, and if they're the people that care about those topics, then definitely that's an opportunity for you to make that connection, to make sure that they know you and appreciate you and all of the good things that you have to share with them, and that turns into money at the end of the day.
Yes, and I think when people think about social media, they forget when we're talking about being social, we're really talking about our interactions with people. And when we're talking about online marketing, we're talking about interactions online. But I'm here to say that it is okay to take those conversations offline. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let me get down here and click over to my Twitter, if I can find it. Yes, I'm going to Twitter first, and the reason is, like I say, I got my start on Twitter, and I still absolutely, positively adore Twitter for offering my sales funnel to people, for offering products to people. And here are really the 4 things that I think are the main purpose of a marketer on Twitter. Is to share content. That's number 1 and will always be number 1. To share your promotions, to promote engagement, and to build your community. Those are really the 4 reasons that I'm on Twitter. Now with content, it goes without saying. If you write a blog post, you stick it up on Twitter and you run it through several times a day, so you drive traffic to it. And also, if you've read something good, share it with your audience. You need to always think about being a giver, because I find that the more I give, whether it's content, whether it's tips, whatever it is, the more I give, the more people are drawn to me. And that's what I want for you and for your business also. So you can see that on my Twitter stream, my latest tweets have been, just basically I'm giving content, 7 reasons you should be using LinkedIn. Most of these actually lead back to my site. I've got one here where Ken is mentioning the webcast, so of course I had to put that in there and put a little woohoo on there to get some interest there. And for the most part, I'm giving content there. Now also, I'm also, when I first get on Twitter, because here's the deal, everybody thinks it's a time suck. It is not if you're focused. Go on there every morning, spend a few minutes seeing who followed you, seeing who retweeted your content, and then just send them a little note, say appreciate it. I say appreciate the share, have a great day, good morning, thanks for sharing. Now if you want to take it further, then you will leave an open-ended question, like whatever open-ended question you want to leave. But here's the thing, do not do that if you are not going to be on Twitter. Twitter is for people who are there in the moment. The only time, you can automate your content, which I do, and I use Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE.com, to do that, but I only automate content. I never automate my engagement. That would just be ridiculous. And I don't pay anybody to do it either, because that would be even more ridiculous in my opinion. So what I wanted to show you also was, if I can click over here, your branding also follows you onto Twitter. Always pay attention to what you're doing. And I can't say enough, on all the sites, just like your blog, there needs to be a call to action. Always, always, always have a call to action in your profile. Now the great thing about Twitter, we can have 2. The thing is, I've got author of Be Social, Be Rich. That's my latest book. Speaker, social media diva. I'm trying to make myself be a little bit friendly, somebody who looks approachable. So I'm saying social media diva here instead of actually expert, which I could use, which I think is a little bit dry. Twitter is a little bit more, friendlier, so I'm using that term. But I'm also saying that I'm an online biz coach. And then I say I'm an all-around happy person. So, but here's the kicker. I'm saying need Twitter help, and look, I give a link to yet another freebie that I have that will lead them into my sales funnel. They're going to get, my best tweet tips, but they're also going to have to opt in to get it. And again, then it will start the drip, which I know all of you all are familiar with that. So never miss an opportunity to have a call to action. My call to action is need Twitter help. Now also, it's going to, right there, MarthaGiffen.com, they can either click here, go into my funnel, or they can click here and learn more about me, which again is going to have a freebie on my site where they can, spend some time. So a lot of people don't realize that you have an opportunity on Twitter to put 2 links. You do, so use them. Use one for a call to action. Now another thing that I did, which I think has really allowed me to have the persona that, I'm approachable, and that is I used a picture of myself actually teaching one of my offline classes. And I think that to use that instead of just my header from my site really just makes me look more approachable. It gives another dimension maybe to who I am, and that's what you want people to see. I don't know how many ways we can say this, but it's always about them, right? It's not about us. So what I'm telling them is what I can do for them. I can help them with Twitter, and I'm a business coach, and I'm making myself look approachable. So how does that sound to everybody?
Sounds great.
Well, so many people are really surprised when they find out that you can put 2 links in there. But good marketers know that we need to put those call to actions as many places as we can get them. Now, here's what I want to show you. This is what I call the perfect tweet. And it looks like this. I will use a call out. Let's see if you know what, this is the funny thing. I use my tool Hootsuite so much that sometimes I have a hard time actually using Twitter like I should from the site, because I'm so used to using a tool. Anyway, what I use for what I call the perfect tweet, and I've probably got one here. I mean, I know I do, so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, it's not going to come up, is I use a call out. Like, say I'm calling out marketers. I will put marketers in big capital letters, marketers, and an exclamation point. Then I will give the little tease, whatever it is that I'm trying to get the marketers to look at, and then give the link behind it. I think it's so important to put your tweets in a way that will make people click, make people share, whatever it is. And talking about sharing, don't ever be shy about saying, please retweet. If you've got a promotion going on and you think it's wonderful and you want the whole wide world to know it, and you want to get the word out, don't hesitate to say please retweet, especially if you're using a call out. Some of the call outs that I use marketers, entrepreneurs, bloggers, stay-at-home mom, whoever is your target market. You need to get in the habit of calling them out for whatever content that you have. So that's just another tip that I use over and over and over again, and it really works for me, especially for putting people in my funnel. I call the bloggers out all the time for my profitable blogger, and I call the social media people out in a different way too, entrepreneurs, just like I'm saying. So that is my best tip as far as Twitter goes. And everybody gets so hung up on these 2 numbers right here. Followers, tweets, following. Okay, number 1, never, ever, ever buy your followers. What is the point of that? Number 1, they're not targeted. They're probably not even people that are going to follow you into your funnel, so do not do it. Trying to manipulate those numbers is a silly, stupid game. I'm just here to tell you. It doesn't matter if you only have 500 followers. If those 500 followers need what you have to offer and they are hungry for what you are teaching and your products, that is more important than having 500,000 people who could give a rip about what you're trying to do. So I hope if you don't hear anything else today about Twitter, you do hear that. Don't ever buy followers, because it's there's no purpose to it. There's no reason. It's just silly.
I've got a question for you here, Martha.
Alrighty.
Dwan is asking if it's best to use your personal name for Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, or is it best to use your business name?
Okay, there's 2 thoughts about that, and here's my thought about it. Because I really am my brand. No matter if I'm, the name of my company is Best Kind Marketing, but what I have found on social media is to use a company logo is just not as effective as having your face and your name there. Chances are, if you are a small business owner, you are the face of your business anyway. So put it out there and be what you are. Facebook is a little different bird, and we'll get to that later, but for Twitter, I would not hide behind a logo. It just, to me, doesn't make sense. I know a lot of people do it. Some people are successful with it, but let me tell you who they are. They already have a very, very well-established brand. You know, they're not the small business people of America. I think it's better to use your name. And also, while we're talking about that, the picture that you use, my profile picture, I use the same picture on all the sites. Then there's never any confusion. You know this as well as I do. It's all about how many times you can touch those prospects, and you want them, whatever your niche is, you want them to think about you first when they think about whatever your niche is. So the way to do that, and part of your branding, is to always use the same photo on all the sites. And one more comment about the photo, please, please make it current. Do not use a photo, and listen, I get it. You know, I'm 56 years old. I get that I would love to use a photo of when I was at least, 30. But here's the deal. If they meet me in person, and a lot of people will as you go along, they need to immediately recognize you. So keep that photo current and use the same one all across the board.
Well, we got a comment on that. It says, Martha, I love your conversational style of teaching. Too many webinars are strictly scripted and read, so you're being appreciated right now.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that, because, sometimes I have a lot of self-doubt about that. When I see those fancy webinars, sometimes I think, oh, my gosh. So thank you so much for affirming that for me. That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Hey, Michael.
Is there anything else? I want to mention one more thing before we do leave Twitter, and that is the hashtags. Twitter is all about the hashtags also, and there are several ways to use them. In the search, when you're looking for someone, and in my case, and probably in yours too, if you work with small business people, you are going to be looking for entrepreneurs, if I can spell it. And when I put a hashtag in the search, I'm going to get everybody who has said something where they are actually hashtagging it. Now, let me tell you where this is good. This is, if you might be looking for JV partners, then they may be calling out the same audience that you are. That kind of thing. So, and it also is a great place for you to pick up people who are talking about entrepreneurs, if that's your thing. But use your hashtags in your tweets, because like all these people using entrepreneur, they are probably going to go through, see who's using it, start liking each other, and it's just a great way to build your your following. So that's one thing about hashtags. Another thing, and I'm just going to show you this one really briefly just because it's one of my favorites, because I am such a, I guess, an integral part, you could say, of the blogging community. I love bloggers. I love helping bloggers, and it really is, they're near and dear to my heart. I attend Twitter chats, and this is a great place for you to do several things. Number one, it's a great place for you to have engagement, of course. But number two, it's a great place for you to stand out as the expert in whatever niche you're in. I attend blog chat, which happens on Sunday night, and you can kind of see how it goes. Everybody's talking about the same thing. This one is actually run by Matt Collier, and it's on Sunday nights at 8, and he usually has a topic around blogging, and we talk about it. And new bloggers will come on and learn about blogging. Well, what I do is I show up and I just try to add as much value to that 1 hour that I can during blog chat. And because of that, that has turned into income for me, because people will message me later and say, I really liked what you've been saying about blogging, or I've been following you for a while, you seem like you've got it together, help me here. So that's yet another way for you to put yourself out as an expert. And if you want to really spend some time and energy building a community on Twitter, you can start your own hashtag chat. The only thing I would say about that is make it the exact same time every week. Start promoting it just like you would a product, and you're going to have to show up. You're going to have your information ready, decide what to talk about. But it's it's a wonderful way for you to build a community. I haven't actually done it just simply because of the time factor, and for me it has worked out better for me to participate in other chats. I'm gaining a lot of momentum there, and that's been very lucrative for me, so I just haven't felt the need to start my own community there. So.
And that's true in a lot of cases. If you can tap into existing networks, it saves you the time building that entire network.
You know, it really does. And not only that, you become friendly and friends with the people who are the leaders in that community, and that many times will lead to opportunities for you. You know, maybe they're doing a live event and they've already seen that you know your stuff. You know, they already know that you're a speaker, so they ask you to speak. You know, the avenues for increasing your income are just really, the sky's the limit the way I see it. The more people you connect with in, again, focused ways will lead you to, you know, a bigger income.
We've got one more question. Is there a tool that can post your articles, videos, etc., to all of your social media services, and do you recommend that? So I know there are a number of tools out there. What's your recommendation as far as using tools like that?
Well, Hootsuite actually does that, but I'll tell you, I don't use it for that, and here's why. What I have found is, especially on Facebook and some of the others, is that when you do that, it does not produce engagement. For whatever reason, it just seems to be a better fit or whatever if you do it manually. Now, I'm not opposed to it because obviously I'm using Hootsuite to send out content, but I'm not sending it to all the sites in all the ways. And here's why. All the sites are different, and different types of people are on each site. And you know, I need to back up and say this, because this is a problem that I see everywhere. People are so overwhelmed with social media, they think they have to be on all the sites.
Yeah.
Listen, the only sites you have to be on are the ones where your clients are. Now, let that sink in, because if your clients are not Twitter-holics, don't go there. There's no reason.
Yeah.
If they're on Facebook all day, get over there.
Yeah. Great point.
Okay, I'm getting ready to leave Twitter. I'm just really giving you all an overview in the time that we have. So, you know, obviously I could talk about Twitter for the next 5 hours, but I think Ken wants me to move on. So I'm going to go next to well, let's see. I want to go to LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm going to go to LinkedIn, and here's a great example of what I was just talking about. Know where your customers are. If your customers are professional people and that's who you're looking for, if you are looking to work with small business owners that get it and they have budgets for what you do, you absolutely positively need to be on LinkedIn. And I would even venture to say that you may not even, you know, for a while, until you get, you know, really good at what you're doing, you can let the other site slide. I mean, always have a profile, of course, but you don't have to say something every day on them. LinkedIn is really an exceptional bird because it is the site for professionals. And like I say, they know why they're here. They want to connect with you. They're looking to network. A lot of people are over here looking for jobs, looking to connect that way. But if you're looking to connect with the business owners, most of them will have in their budget whatever it is you want. I have had a lot of luck on LinkedIn, and I'm going to tell you 2 ways that I have achieved the success that I have on LinkedIn, and you're going to love one of them, or probably both of them, but you may know the first one. For one thing, when you set up your profile here, this is where LinkedIn is a little bit different from everybody else in that their internal search is like, let's just call it the LinkedIn Google, because you are on their internal search. You've got to do a lot of things to make yourself show up, you know, in that first tier. So what you do always with your customer and your client in mind, when you set it up, You put in the words that they will be looking for. Again, I could easily have put on here Martha Giffen, CEO, Best Kind Marketing. But listen, does that mean anything? And tell me, how many people are going to are going to put in the search that they want the CEO of Best Kind Marketing? My guess is none. But they may be putting in social media marketing, and they may be putting in social media marketing expert, consultant, trainer, speaker. So I'm telling them on the front end what I do for them, and I'm giving something for the search engines to look for. Now, let me tell you the next thing. As you go through your profile, oh, and by the way, always have it 100% complete. If any of you on this webinar are sitting there with your LinkedIn profiles not 100%, go today and fill them out, and here's why. Because again, with their internal search, the people who are 100% complete on their profiles are going to come up first in the search. So that is something that you really need to complete. As you go through here and you have your experience, like I have online marketing, social media strategies, what you do is, again, you try to sprinkle your keywords. If you've had experience in that place, in that space, then use your keywords as much as you can, because it just will help you more in the internal search. Now, I cannot talk to anybody without saying something about these endorsements and the recommendations. The endorsements, I got to tell you, I have written numerous blog posts on this, and this is my opinion on it. I think they are the silliest thing that LinkedIn's ever come out with since its inception. And here's why. It is nothing but people clicking on. Now, some of these people may know that I have experience in some of these areas, but I'm telling you, some of them don't. They have not worked with me. They don't really know my skills and expertise. They're guessing at it. And so to me, it really carries no weight. Now, having said that, you need to have a few. You don't need to look like you don't know anything. But it just doesn't carry the weight. It's like a Facebook like. It really doesn't mean a whole lot. What means more is the recommendations. And I myself am lax at getting the recommendations and getting on here. I need to contact more of my clients and have them do it. But you need to get the online recommendations, because that carries the weight. People can actually see that someone did work with you, what you did for them, and if they got results. So that's just, if you have worked with someone and you got great results, go over there without being asked and give them a nice, stellar recommendation, just like you would want for yourself. Again, I think the more giving we are, the more we'll receive. So I know that, in fact, most of you are working with Ken, so he did not ask me to do this, but I think that all of you could probably go over there and write a recommendation for him. Okay. I know you were not expecting that, but, that's just a great example. If you're learning from someone and they're helping you, let it be known. That click is nice, but it's not as nice. Now, let me show you how in fact, I usually click off of that See Endorsements, because to be honest, it annoys me. When you are asked to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, you just click through it and you say you'll connect with them. If that is all you do, you have missed the best opportunity. When someone asks to connect with you, what you do is you send them a message back, thank them for connecting with you, tell them a little bit about what you do, and ask them how you can help them. And with just a simple look at their profile, you may already know what you can do for them, and you may even in the first initial conversation say, do you have time to hop on the phone later this week? Now, that usually surprises people when I say it, and sometimes a light bulb goes on, because they're like, oh, we can use the phone? Well, guess what? Prospecting is prospecting, and if you're looking for a certain type of client, there's nothing wrong with getting on the phone. In fact, you should get on the phone. So take that one to the bank, because that is, to me, the best part of LinkedIn. Now, also, when you are wanting to connect with people on LinkedIn, it comes up, there's a default that says, I want to add you to my LinkedIn network. Okay, get rid of that, because, how boring is that? And you say, hello, whatever their name is, I see that we have something in common. I see we have people in common, or, I see that you're in the business of X and I'm in the business of Y, and I would love to connect with you, or whatever. Make it personal right on the initial asking to connect. And that, to me, has been what has helped me connect with people on LinkedIn and to actually get business from LinkedIn. So it can be very lucrative if done correctly. Questions on that?
Here's one question we've got from Gabrielle. What is the best social media that fits you when you don't like spending hours behind the computer?
I have so many answers to that, but I know what you I know what you mean, because believe it or not, even I get tired of sitting in front of the computer. So what I tell people is try initially using a timer. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes, 30 minutes when you start your day, 30 minutes before you go home, and be focused. The first thing you need to decide about social media is your reason for being there. Who are you trying to find, and why are you trying to find them? Who your target market is, and how you want to engage them. If you will sit down and answer those questions, then you will be better able to do your social media in a focused way. There's no reason to be on it all day long. I can tell you I'm not on social media all day long. I'm on there a lot because I'm learning, so I can teach others what I learn. But there's no reason for you to be on it like that every day. Make your connections on Twitter, make your connections on LinkedIn, make your connections on Facebook, and then be done with it. And again, you don't have to be on all the sites. Pick and choose there.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard's got a kind of a connection a question too. So what's the best way to turn down a connect request? I'm guessing with Southern style, right?
Well, I'll tell you. Sometimes I get some creepy people. I'll just be honest about that. And what my first approach is, if I see no reason for us to connect, I simply ignore it. I'll be honest, I don't even respond, because it's a waste of my time, and it would certainly be, there's no purpose to it.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
When you interact with antagonistic people, you often get antagonists.
Well, it's true, and we all have people that don't like us. I mean, there's people that don't like me, believe it or not.
That's hard to do.
I have my share of negative people. But you know what? Everybody's not going to like you, and everything that you say is not going to resonate with everybody. And here's what I say: they weren't going to be my clients anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that you didn't like what I said, but it's okay. Obviously, I use good manners on social media, and I am a very big advocate of that. You will never see me type a cuss word, ever.
Yeah.
And you really won't see me be confrontational on social media. There's no need to do that. You have to decide on the front end how you want to run your business and how you want to represent yourself. And I decided that I wanted to take the high road and be a woman of integrity in business. Yeah. And if you do that, you won't fail.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a question from Cheryl. Martha, when looking at LinkedIn, a colleague told me that there's a limit on the number of connections you can have of 2,500. Can you confirm or deny that? And there is a limit, right?
I must not have reached my limit, because that has not happened to me yet. Like I say, I don't connect with everybody who tries to connect with me.
Yeah. Theoretically, there is a limit. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think it's higher than 2,500, though.
But you know what? I'm glad you told me that, because I will definitely look it up. And I'll tell you what, I will send the answer to Ken, and he can stick it in an email to you, or however, y'all correspond there. And I will find out the answer to that.
That sounds great.
Now, I'm going to move on, and I know we are really, really pressed for time, but, you can't go anywhere without seeing Facebook, so I'm going to pull it up. This is actually my personal profile, but I'm going to go over to my my business. And For me, now this is something you have to decide
Here's
on the front end too.
just one quick thing, just to alleviate everybody's worries. There are ceilings on the number of connections you could have. It's 30,000 though, and 3,000 invitations. Those are the limits. So.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for that, because I'm writing it down because I'm going to now add it to my presentations. Thank you so much for that information. We're over here on Facebook, and what I do, you have to decide on the front end too whether you want your personal to overlap with your business. In my case, I am the face of my business, so it doesn't bother me. Anyone on my personal profile knows what I do for a living, and the way I look at it, if they don't like what I'm saying or they think I'm sending too much business stuff out, they can unfriend me and they can call me if they need me. You know, that's how I look at it. So I have no problem cross-promoting with my personal profile and my business profile. Now, having said that, when you I'm just going to go quickly through this just to show you some things that you absolutely have to put people, again, we're talking about putting people in our funnel. Right here where I have the blog, the free offer, and there's where they can get my book. Always use this. And if you have not set up these boxes yet, the app is WooBox, WOOBOX, and it's an app inside Facebook that, I'll be honest, my tech person set it up for me, but I don't think it's that hard to set up, but I think you could probably go to Fiverr or somewhere and get someone to set it up for you, or find a friend that's technical. Anyway, you need to have this right here because these are so important, because it's yet another way to put people into your funnel, which is where you're wanting them to go anyway. Let me tell you what I did to when I initially got on here to build my following, and you might want to follow the same thing. In the beginning, every day for the first 100 days of my Facebook page, I gave a social media tip. I wanted to get people used to coming to my page, and I wanted to be consistent about it, so I did that for the first 100 days, and to build my following. And what I found after the 100 days, I stopped doing it, and I had people saying, "Where's the social media tip? We're looking for the social media tip." So I have continued on. So if you have something in your niche that you actually want to label like that, a lot of times I give business tips, blogging tips. Be consistent about it for 90 days or so, and see what happens, because it really will build your following, and people will share. You hear a lot about edge rank in Facebook, and I'm not going to go a whole lot into that, but it has to do with how many people see your post, how many people, all of that. And I can tell you I don't really know the algorithms of it, because I'm not personal friends with the Facebook owner, which I think is the only way you could know that. But here is what I do know. Apparently they give weight to certain types of posts, with images being, not images, but with shares being the highest. So if you have a post and it gets a lot of shares, more people are going to see it. The next thing they weight is how many comments that you get on it. The third thing, I think, is the comments that you initiate after they have commented. Do you see what I'm saying? The replies, that's what it is. And then the fourth one is just simply the likes. So keep that in mind, and always be trying to put content that is somewhat shareable. And use good common sense about your promotions too. When you've got one, figure out a way to say it nicely. Yesterday I was lucky enough that Be Social Be Rich is now on Kindle, so woohoo, I had to shout it to the world. And so what I'm doing here, of course, is telling them that my book is now on Kindle, and then I've got people saying, "Oh, can't wait to read it, go buy it." I'm creating the buzz. Always be creating the buzz, but don't create that buzz without putting a whole lot of other stuff in between your buzz. Your buzz is for your promotion. Notice I'm giving social media tips, I'm giving blogging tips, I'm sharing a blog post that I wrote, I'm sharing, again, more social media tips, because people love that on my site. So figure out what it is that people love to hear from you, and give it to them. That's the key to the engagement over there.
Mm-hmm. Listen to what people want and give it to them.
Well, that's it. Give it to them. Well, up to a point. Now let's stop. You give them a lot, but then they do want to work with you, and they do want to pay for that extra, the extra sauce that you've got, that special sauce. So yes, give, and give some more.
Cheryl's asking about the number of business pages you can have in Facebook. I don't recall any limit on that. Do you know?
I don't know. I've got several that I'm using, so I haven't hit my limit there. I think I've got 5. You know what? I don't know, but there's another good question. I've not really had anybody ask me that. Most people that I work with are pretty new entrepreneurs, and they're just now setting up their pages. When you set up your page, you need to pay attention to who is going to be looking at it to be sure that you're in the right category. Like a business person, I think, is in that. It's not called celebrity. I forget what it's called. It's professional person, or no, that's not it. I've forgotten the term. But anyway, I'm set up as an author. So, oh, I know what it is. It's public figure. Public figure. If your business is pretty much tied into yours, if you're a local business, a brick and mortar, put your category under local business. Company and corporation is really more for if you have an e-commerce store and you're pretty much operating that type of online business, then you would go with the company, corporation. There's a category for brands, which really would lead into, Coke, Apple, that kind of thing. So be sure that when you do set it up, you're in the right category.
And according to Facebook, there is no limit to the number of pages you can manage. So
I'm just loving the research that is being done while I'm teaching this webinar. Y'all are fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something, a little-known social media tool. It's called Google.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that funny because, we're all, probably most people on this call are product creators also. I'm assuming that you've created an ebook, if at the very least, or you've created a course or something. And isn't it interesting that the things that we end up teaching other people and that they will actually purchase are made from research that we actually did on Google?
Yeah,
I find that so
Well,
fascinating and so wonderful at the same time.
and Cheryl's also asking, do you use a landing page that's embedded in Facebook?
I don't. I don't. But I know that you can.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we
Okay.
want to cover?
I think that is pretty good for our 1 hour meeting.
We did that pretty good, didn't we? Right on the dot. That's amazing.
Well, the main thing, again, and I guess I didn't say this on Facebook, but just like from my blog post, if any of these people Facebook is a great place for you to find out what your audience is looking for. You just simply ask them.
Yeah.
And I failed to mention groups, and I should also say Facebook groups are a wonderful place to have a community, grow a community, participate in other communities, make yourself the expert in other people's communities. In mine, I have my community on Facebook is my subscribers. They haven't necessarily bought from me yet. That's another group, but they are my subscribers, and so many times I will just ask them questions that will lead to the next product. They will tell me by what they say what they want.
Yeah.
And again, because they're subscribers and not necessarily have not purchased anything from me yet, a lot of times I will private message them if they have a problem and say, can we hop on the phone, and then try to lead them or offer it really into one of my programs. And a lot of times I've done that with great success.
Sounds fantastic, and I love your customer service approach to acquiring new clients. That's a great thing to do. Dwan, I know you got a quick question. We're going to be getting off the call, but it says Google Plus and Pinterest, should we actively use them or just have a presence? And I think it all depends on your particular situation,
Yes.
who your clients are, and where they're existing. So Pinterest,
Yeah.
for instance, has a great following among women. So if you're
Yes.
targeting women, that's a great place to be. And it just depends on your particular audience. What's a best place to catch Martha? So what's the best way to get in contact with you, Martha?
The best way is over on my site, marthagiffen.com. You can find me over there in any of those tabs. If you hit any tab on my site, you can find me. And plus, also, connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and let me know that you were on the webinar today when you connect with me so that I will be able to, put a face with who was here. I would really enjoy that.
Fantastic. And thanks so much for being here today. Really appreciate your time. It was a great presentation. Lots of people are saying so in the chat room, and I'll just pass that on to you. You did a fantastic job. So happy to
Thank
have you
you.
here.
I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
And everybody, if you want to meet more great people like Martha, you should come to JV Alert Live. So go to jvalertlive.com, get on the list there, see what we're doing, other live events that we have. There is no better way than to be at a live event and interact that way. It's an amazing time together. We have a great family, and we would love to have you taking part. We're forming local groups in several areas. If you have an interest in taking part in a local basis of people that are like-minded entrepreneurs and marketers and people trying to reach millions of people with their ideas, products, and services, definitely touch base with me. You can always send mail to ken@jvalert.com, and it will get right through to me. I typically answer it within a day or so, definitely email me if you have any questions or anything I can help. And quick question on, do we also come to Europe? We are talking to some people about coming to other countries. Just depends. I'll go anywhere. There's an audience of a couple hundred people in the room, and they pay my expenses to get there. I'll be happy to come visit you. So at any rate, we would love to see each and every one at a live event. Again, you can find out more information about me at kenmcarthur.com. Definitely sign up for the newsletter there. And there are links to all of my social media, and I hope to see you there. Everybody have a great day. Thanks so much, Martha, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was great.